And finally, I guess the purpose of this more than anything else is we're going to be changing the name of Lake Ontario, effective immediately, to Lake America.
I can't be the only one who is already so tired of this. Hey guys, welcome back to Bread versus Everyone, your home for independent and nonpartisan commentary and analysis on politics, media, internet insanity, and more. We are going to check in with the latest from the Oval Office, where truly earth-shattering developments are taking place. Huge strides and progress are being made for the American people because finally we have officially renamed a lake. Yes, guys, welcome to the world we now live in. Here is the official White House letterhead from August 27th, yesterday, honoring the American history of the Great Lakes and renaming Lake Ontario as Lake America. This is President Trump's latest initiative. It comes in the context of a feud and reignited trade war with Canada that, just as Americans are still quite concerned about affordability, is already leading to retaliatory tariffs from Canada, and we'll see small price increases on a variety of consumer goods. Anyway, here is President Trump in the very, very stunning and brave signing ceremony making this change. Let's watch.
And finally, I guess the purpose of this more than anything else is we're going to be changing the name of Lake Ontario, effective immediately, to Lake America. That's going to take place right now as I sign the order. Do you have anything to say about it, Ben?
Yes, sir. So this is a straightforward but important executive order. It directs Secretary Burgum and the Department of the Interior to update the Geographic Names Information Service to reflect that the lake once known as Lake Ontario will, from this day forward, be known as Lake America. This is a lake that has most of its volume in the United States. The deepest parts of the lake sit in United States territory, so this will reflect that This is an American lake.
Thank you. Okay. Okay.
And just like that, inflation was defeated. Seriously? What are we doing? This is so dumb. This is so pointless. I responded to it online with a meme that I posted. Help us afford gas. Best I can do is rename a lake. This doesn't even make sense on its own terms because this comes in the context of Trump's ongoing trade war with Canada, which is going to make things even more expensive in the short run. And he's doing this to own Canada, but that doesn't even make sense because Ontario, Canada is named after Lake Ontario, not even vice versa. So you're not even owning Canada, really. They're laughing at us. As is much of the world, actually. I just find this kind of thing juvenile and embarrassing, honestly. And it will cost taxpayers about $500,000 that I just think to rename everything. And it's not even counting all the hours of federal employees' time that will be wasted on this. And I just think that almost literally anything else would be a better usage of that money. We would be better served by just putting $500,000 in an envelope and mailing it to a random American below the poverty line. Seriously, I can't imagine a dumber way to spend some money and waste an afternoon. I'm not the only one. Even many right-wing voices online mocked this. For example, Rod Trier wrote on X, "This is humiliating to the U.S. People are struggling mightily with the cost of living here in the U.S., but Trump is busying himself trolling." Eric Erickson, the conservative radio host, said, "Picture the American voter who was on the sidelines Tuesday, arms folded, undecided about the midterms, who read that headline and thought, well, now I'm voting Republican. Take your time. I'll wait. You cannot picture him because he does not exist. Nobody's mortgage got cheaper. Nobody's grocery bill went down. A lake got a new name in one country's federal register while keeping the old one in every nautical chart and in the mouth of every human being living on either shore. It is rather silly and is what the president is spending his days on with the election 14 weeks out." I also found this commentary interesting from the left-wing journalist Glenn Greenwald. He wrote on X, "It's not just the stupidity of this that's so notable, but far more notable is how stupid in his White House Trump thinks his followers are, believing they'll be satisfied and satiated with infantile slop like this in lieu of any of the things they promised to do for their lives." Yeah, I mean, Trump promised to bring down prices. That objectively has not occurred. Promised no new wars, started a new war. But guys, we've got Lake America now. How can you complain? Aren't you tired of winning? That's why I just find this so absurd, so silly. More commentary here. This was funny. Even the Babylon Bee was roasting Trump for this. The conservative satire site. They posted an article headlined, "Trump says grocery bills should drop after he renames a few more things America." Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's funny, but it's just also lame and pathetic and really does. Who are the people around him who are too scared to say that this is dumb and a waste of time and comes off very poorly to the public because their actual concerns are not being meaningfully addressed and you're doing stupid slop like this? Yeah, where are the people around him honest enough to tell him, hey, actually, Mr. President, this is a really dumb idea? It's very much a the emperor has no clothes situation where I think he's just surrounded with sycophants and he gets these like raving ideas and becomes obsessed with them. And no one around him has the guts to sit him down and tell him honestly, like, hey, this is really dumb. Let's maybe focus on negotiating a trade deal to get tariffs down to lower prices before the election and actually ease affordability concerns. Let's try to, get the gas prices down in some way or another, but no, best I can do is rename a lake. Really? That's where we're at, guys. And I always find it amusing, the people that feel the need to defend this kind of thing, because is it the end of the world? No, obviously not, but it's just embarrassing. And I think everybody, if they're being honest with themselves, knows it's dumb. But some people are just, I don't know if they're performing for Trump or hoping to get noticed by him or what have you, but they'll just defend anything he does because dear leader or because of just tribal sentiment or loyalty. And it's like, you really don't have to do that, actually. And guys, we actually may only just be at the beginning of this glorious age of renaming things. Here is Trump later on in that signing ceremony indicating that he is just getting started. Let's watch.
As you know, we took something called the Gulf of Mexico. We changed it, and now it's very routinely the Gulf of America. So if you think about it, we have a Gulf and we have a lake. Now all we need is an ocean. So maybe we'll have to change the name of the Atlantic and or the Pacific. Maybe we'll change them both.
I actually can't tell if he's joking. Like, I don't know if he's serious or not. He might be serious. And that's the scariest part here is this dude is just so unmoored from reality that the rest of us are living in, where we're like worried about grocery prices and the rise of socialism and international chaos and all this stuff. And he's like, maybe I should rename something else after America next week. Everybody will love it. Well, his approval ratings are like at just record lows. I mean, I think he inhabits a very bizarre echo chamber of like Truth Social and Fox News or something, because the reality is not getting through to him here. And I think he's in for a very ugly wake-up call in November at this rate. It's like, imagine being a Republican trying to run, voters keep asking about affordability, and the president is, I don't know, posting AI slop, going on late night rants on Truth Social, and then renaming things and talking about how wonderful it is while actively heightening trade wars with Canada, one of our neighbors and biggest trading partners, who he says was ripping us off, which, you know what, there's probably legitimate trade disputes. There certainly are. However, it was happening under the terms of the deal he negotiated in his first term, the USMCA. So it's like he is that now acting like they're the worst people on earth, which, there are legitimate grievances in the trade disputes between us and Canada, but they're not, in fact, the scum of the earth and our most villainous, horrific trading partners, the way that he talks about them as if they're like worse than China, which actually steals our IP and does all sorts of terrible stuff on the trade front with us. But I don't know. It really is just a comedy of self-imposed embarrassments and own goals at this point. But I don't know, maybe just we need to rename more things after America or after President Trump himself. And then, of course, we're going to go through the dumb, like, partisan back and forth where when a Democrat gets into office in 2028, I'm sure they'll rename everything, the Gulf of Mexico and the Lake Ontario again. And then it's like, oh, we'll get to spend more taxpayer money to reinstitute that throughout the federal government and all our documents and maps and everything. And it's like, this is the timeline we're in is so incredibly painfully dumb and stupid, but I honestly can't sit here and argue that we deserve better. I don't think we do as a population, right? I think that our level of ignorance and apathy and the behavior and approach to civic life that we have enabled and promoted has gotten us here. So now enjoy the glory of it all, guys. Isn't it just amazing? That's my take on this. I find it absurd, but it is what it is. I'm sure we'll all be talking about something else next week. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't yet. Hit the like button, and we will leave it there for this one and be back with more real soon.